Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Reach coming to you here today as we're talking about WWE's Elimination Chamber 2019 pay-per-view that's going to be coming up. One of the biggest matches that's on the show is going to be the first ever women's tag team Elimination Chamber match. I remember a few years ago when they introduced tag teams into the Elimination Chamber. Of course, that was won by the New Day. I can't remember if the women had a chamber match last year, if this is the first time that they're allowing women into the Elimination Chamber, and this is part of the whole, women's revolution that we've been going through for the past few years, where they've gotten their own Royal Rumble, they've main evented a pay-per-view, they've been in the Hell in the Cell, but of course this is, going to be crowning the first ever women's tag team champions. This is something that's been rumored for well over a year. I personally thought that the women's championship was going to be named last year at the Evolution pay-per-view. And some of the teams that are even in this Elimination Chamber match were some of the people that I thought had a chance to win the titles. The one thing that I see when I look at this from a wrestling fan's perspective that's trying to, be a fan of the wrestling business, you see members of Raw, you see members of SmackDown. When you think they're only going to be bringing one set of women's tag team titles out, you have to be wondering, once we have the women's tag team champions, are they going to be bouncing back and forth between brands? But then again, the Intercontinental Champion or the United States Champion, the WWE Champion, the Universal Champion, they don't have to do that. So, what is the women's tag team division going to really be? Because, let's say somebody from Monday Night Raw wins. Is it just going to be Bayley and Sasha Banks going up against the Riot Squad week after week after week? I know that for people who really watch Raw each and every week, it seems like every match that they do, they end up doing the match on Raw for like 2 months. How many times are we going to see Rude and Gable go up against the Ascension? This storyline of the Ascension getting screwed is the storyline, but how many times do we really have to see them getting screwed in the same exact match over and over and over to get it? So we have to really see, who are the real tag teams that are in there. Of course, you have, Mandy Moore. Okay, I fucked that up. That's 100% my bad. But we've got Mandy Rose and we've got Sonya Deville. They're pretty much always together. Sasha and Bayley, if you're a fan like me, you've been waiting for them to have their own singles match for well over, 2 years now. That's a tag team that's looked like it's going to break up about 100 times and never have. You've got Carmella teaming up with Naomi. That's a makeshift tag team if I've ever seen one. You've got Tamina teaming up with Nia Jax. That one, that's a real team that it seems like they've been together for a little while now, but that's not one that I really take seriously. The Riot Squad is a team that you always see fighting together, and then you've also got the Iconics. To me, honestly, the Iconics is the truest tag team that the women's division has. It seems like there's somebody that were made for the WWE titles. Myself, they went through NXT as a team. They came up to the main roster as a team. It seems like somebody that's in the long term going to be a real team. That would mean that, of course, the Iconics would be able to bounce between brands, and I think that's the reason why I'm sort of picking them to be able to do it. Of course, you think about Bayley and Sasha. They're probably the most fan favorites of the group that it's in there. That'd be nice to bring the titles to Raw. Of course, Monday Night Raw is always going to be the A show, but then, of course, you being able to have Bayley and Sasha Banks be able to sort of flip shows and go to SmackDown, it would sort of be able to bring them up with some things that involve Becky Lynch and Charlotte having all of the 4 horsewomen on the same show. So that's sort of one reason to keep Bayley and Sasha Banks in your back pocket. But I think that what this means is that once October comes and the new WWE roster or the new television deal comes to be, I think that means that the WWE roster, even though they're doing a Superstar Shakeup in April, I think that come October, I'm thinking that means people from Raw will be on SmackDown, people from SmackDown will be on Raw. I think that'll be cool. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that on the upcoming shows. So peace out.